and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here, guys, where there is so much for us to discuss as Barca begin their pre-season tour in America. We're also going to be talking, of course, about Nico Williams, the entire situation, and my honest thoughts right now about the whole thing that has unfolded, and most importantly as well, how this may impact Dani Olmo and that whole deal. Honest thoughts on that coming up as well. It is time here for some big discussion, so get ready. And let's do this, because today's video, guys, is a big one, because it is coming to you courtesy of Manscaped here today, who in the very heart of the summer, and the heat of the summer, they are here to help you put the very final touches on your look. And I'm thinking of it here like a Hansi Flick pre-season, because the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, it's going to put the work in. It's a hard-working tool. It's sturdy, it's dependable, it's precise, it focuses on the very smallest of details as well, and it's flexible, because in the way that Hansi Flick may deploy different systems, with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, you can opt between using the foil blade or the trimmer blade for some harder work there. It's up to you to make the big tactical calls, guys, depending on what you need, and you can get 20% off your Manscaped order. That's applied on all of the products on Manscaped's website simply by using the code TalkFCB at checkout. Super simple, super easy, and get yourself a nice saving here today. Thank you indeed for your support, because tonight Barca will indeed be getting their US tour firmly underway, with our first game coming up against Man City there. That is going to be at 7 p.m. local time in Orlando. That's 1 a.m. Barcelona time. So I'm going to be talking to you guys the morning after about how we got on in this friendly, but I actually know that many of you will be going to attend this game live in Orlando. Absolutely fantastic occasion it will be there, and I really do hope that you guys all enjoy it, and it should be a good game. You know, right now Man City are further along in their pre-season preparations. They've already played 2 friendly matches, even if they have actually lost both of them, conceding quite a few goals along the way here, but of course it's all about getting up to speed, and Barca will be hoping here to just hit the ground running under Hansi Flick. Apparently he's going to play there with 2 different 11s there. Between the 2 halves, we're going to see one team in the first half, one team in the second half. He wants to have a really good look at everybody, and from a financial viewpoint as well, guys, of course that's all important here at Barca. We'll be earning 3 million euros for this friendly game against Man City. We're also going to earn 3 million for the game against Milan, and the Classico will be bringing in 5 million in total there, meaning that from the 3 games of our USA tour, Barca will take home 11 million euros, which is absolutely key revenue for the club. But I do, though, guys, want to talk in some detail here today about Robert Lewandowski. Some big words that we have heard from him over the past few days, and it was actually interesting because on their arrival, the team there in Orlando, it was not long before we had a double training session, and Hansi Flick has actually been seen there taking some time out to really talk specifically with Robert Lewandowski there, taking him aside. Apparently he's been speaking to him really intently, passionately there about exactly what he expects from him, what he wants to see from Robert Lewandowski there as the leading number 9, where he should be, the kind of positions that he needs to take up. And I thought it was interesting to hear from Lewandowski about Flick's arrival at the club and whether that could be very helpful for him, because Lewandowski has openly said here, I am sure that for me this season I can definitely score more goals than I did last year. I think there Lewandowski believes that last season wasn't at his best, you know, certainly there in terms of in front of goal, in terms of the way the team was set up around him maybe. He believes the best is still yet to come. He can do more in this season than he did last year. And on Hansi Flick's arrival, he said, now we're with the new coach, and I'm sure that Flick is going to get us working hard. We are going to be working very hard. We've got a new idea, we've got a new direction, and we want to prepare well. Lewandowski, of course, knows only too well what Flick is capable of in terms of those training sessions, and I think Lewandowski is one of those players who wants to be pushed. You can see from the physical side of things, he's somebody there who does demand the best of himself. He also wants that to be applied to every player around him. But when he was asked specifically about Flick's style of play, you know, will it actually suit you more as a player? He openly did say yes. He said, yes, it will. The more vertical that we play, the more scoring opportunities that I will have in front of goal. He said, if we play offensively, score goals and win, that will be the perfect solution. So Lewandowski, he seems in confident mood. He seems buoyed here by the arrival of Hansi Flick, and believe me, we will need him. We're going to need him to step up this season. He is still going to be our leading nine. We will demand more from him. Flick will demand more from him. I think we're already seeing that here in the training sessions, and we need the best version right now of Robert Lewandowski. However, when it comes to creating those chances, are we going to see Nico Williams supplying Lewandowski in the current season? Because the first thing that I've got to make very, very clear right at the start of everything we're going to say about Nico, nobody knows what he is going to do. Still, nobody is aware right now of what his final decision is. You know, every single day journalists, they're trying to guess, they're trying to sort of uncover some sort of information. They're getting nowhere. Nobody has any concrete information. Even somebody there, like Fabrizio Romano, said, look, all we're doing is waiting. I don't want to create fake news. He said, we have to be patient here. Nobody knows what the decision is. But okay, what we do know is at this stage, you've got to be honest here, and I'm somebody who's been very positive about this deal, but we have to be honest and say, what we do know, it's been a long wait. We have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the final decision from Nico Williams. The club is waiting more anxiously every single day now, and I believe that every day that does pass, the confidence in the deal drops. You know, Barca, I feel, are starting to get very, very nervous. They're starting to have more doubts. And of course, that spreads here to the fan base. And honestly, guys, I just don't know what's happened with this deal. You know, at first, the feelings for me, they were immaculate. They felt really, really good, really strong when it comes to Nico and Barça. You know, we spoke with his agent very early on in the summer. We actually agreed a deal. Now, that's something that happened, by the way. That's not something that was made up. We agreed a deal with his agent there. The contract was outlined. The terms were agreed upon. Everybody was fine with it, pending the player's okay. So everything was drawn up, ready for the deal. Now, I just don't know why you do all that. You know, why would you go through all of that long process there if it was something that was never going to happen, if it was something there that was never close to happening? And I just think right now what we're seeing, and it's very clear actually, Athletic Club, they are in Nico's ear. They have been throughout his entire time on holiday, maybe. I think there's real pressure coming to him to stay at the club, and definitely a lot of that pressure, it is inevitable, it's actually coming from his family. And I think Nico's actually been put in a really difficult position here, maybe, by those close to him. Because what we're hearing in the media is that his family would really like him to play with Iñaki Williams, his brother, of course, in the Europa League next season. Athletic qualified for that. They're going to have some big European matches at San Mamés. And the final of next year's Europa League, it is also at San Mamés. So maybe his family are saying, look, you know, you can play with your brother. How proud will we be of that? How special that moment will be as a family. And you could even get to the final, and it's at your home stadium, San Mamés. What a special moment that will be for the club. And look, I get all of that. You know, it is special. It would be special. But we're talking about hypotheticals here. You know, a final at San Mamés. Who's saying that Athletic will get anywhere near the final? There is no guarantees in football. That is one thing that is sure. And what you hear in the media as well is that Nico's dream is to play for Barca. He absolutely dreams of making this move happen. And I just feel right now, you know, if you're around Nico, if you're people close to him, if you're the family members, surely you want him to follow that dream. You know, it's his career. It's his big moment here that he's worked so hard for. You know, the way that he played at the Euros, the way that he's really elevated his level, he has earned this chance, earned this move. And for him now to say basically, I'm not going to follow my dream. You know, I'm going to follow your dream instead. That's just not the way that it should be in my mind. I think Nico here must make a decision for him, for his career, what he wants, what he dreamt about when he was a kid, what he's worked for and earned here. This opportunity to join Barca, because these aren't chances that will come around every single year. These are not opportunities that will come your way in football very often. This is a unique chance, especially given Barca's financial situation, all of these kinds of things. There's no guarantees on what can happen in the future. We can do this deal now, but we don't know looking beyond, which is why right now I do not understand, guys, the thinking of Nico just play one more year at Athletic Club. Why? If you reject Barca now to stay at Athletic, you know, that's fine. You've got the connection there, you've got the family element, that's all fine and all good and well. But don't just say, oh, I'll do it for one more year. I'll have one more year there. Because again, there's no guarantees what will happen in 2025. And that is why Barca apparently right now, they've made it crystal clear to Nico, the Barca train, it only passes through once. You know, if you don't come now, if you do stand up, reject us to our face this summer, we will not come back. It is take it or leave it. And that is why you have got to be so sure, so absolutely firm in your decision and what you want to do, because apparently Athletic Club, they want to offer him more money, they'll offer him a higher salary, they have the financial power to do that because they don't spend very much on signings, and they only signed a renewal with them back in December, so he's already going to get a higher salary, but the release clause in that deal, it would be discussed then. And you just imagine here that Athletic are already paying him more and more and more money. I mean, surely then they're going to up that clause. They're not going to leave that at 58 million euros, which again is another indicator that this chance might not come around. You know, this is a unique opportunity in the market, really. And I just think right now, he's stuck in the middle of it. I really do. I just think Nico is stuck in the middle of all of this. He wants to follow his dream. He also wants to sort of follow his family's dream. He also doesn't want to lose that family element of it. And it can be very, very difficult to make the right call. It really, really can be. But I think what Barca did on this, guys, and I want to look at ourselves for a moment here and look particularly at Deco's point of view in all of this. I think the big mistake that we made as a club in this situation is that we didn't set a deadline on this decision. I personally believe here, the way that we have allowed this situation to spiral out of control, to drag on and on and on and wait and wait and wait. We should have been proactive. Deco there has got to be stronger, in my opinion, in his role as sporting director. A deadline should have been set. You get to this date, it's either a yes or it's a no. Because like I say, if Nico wants to stay at Athletic Club, you can understand that decision. You can accept that decision as a club. What the problem is now at Barca is that we've solely focused on him. We've heard in the media, Barca are only looking at the Nico deal. They're only working on the Nico deal, and nothing else can happen until we get that answer. And yet, we've had no deadline. We've let it go on and on and on. And that means that right now, if you don't get him, you're entering August having done nothing in the summer transfer window. That's the problem now, and that's a situation we've only got to blame ourselves for. Nico has every right here to decide his future, but Barca should have been stronger in this entire situation. And now, I want to talk about Dani Olmo. I want to talk here about the fact here that if we don't get Nico, the other concern of mine is, does the thinking around Dani Olmo change for Barca? Number one, do they feel then like they've got to get him? Because right now we're hearing from RB Leipzig, by the way, off the back of one offer from Barca, probably another one going in soon. They want 60 million fixed. They don't want it in bonuses. They don't want it there in possible add-ons to come in years to come. They want 60 million guaranteed money from Barca for Dani Olmo. And my concern here is if by missing out on Nico, that makes Barca think, we've got to panic. We've got to get somebody in. We've got to do a deal now. Fine, we'll pay all of the money to Leipzig for Olmo. That would be a mistake, in my opinion. And the other problem with Olmo now is if we do sign it, if we do bring him in, it's a great player. It's a player there that can play in that number 10 role. But is he actually going to play there now? Because my other concern would be if we miss out on Nico, are we going to expect Olmo to be a left winger? Are we actually going to be saying to him, well, look, you know, you can play out there, you can adapt to that position. We've seen that in the past and it has gone absolutely dreadfully. So I think Barca here, they've got to take a step back from all of this. They have to remain calm. They've got to remain rational. Do not panic in the transfer window. You need that decision from Nico. You can't allow this to drag on much longer here. You have to be on top of the situation, take control. We're a big club here. We're a very, very big club in the footballing world. Don't allow yourself to be pushed around. It is a yes or it is a no. And then we've got to look at everything. We don't want to jump into a deal for massive money for Olmo, and we don't want to force him into a position that's not even his own. We've got to go back to the drawing board here if Nico doesn't work out. But let me just say, guys, again, and let me just confirm on this again, the decision has not been made. The wait goes on, it's uncomfortable, it's anxious, it's nervous, we don't know what's going to happen, but he hasn't said no yet. He hasn't said yes, which is not ideal, but he has still not said no. And very soon, surely, we will get an answer. But guys, what I would like to know in the comments down below from you all today, yes or no, do you believe that Nico will sign for Barca? It's been a long few days, it's been a lot of waiting, we've seen so many different reports, but if I ask you now, hand on heart, is he coming? Yes he is, or no, he is staying at Athletic? Let me know your comments. Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments down below, along with this entire situation and the way that it's been handled. I will catch you all soon when hopefully there will be updates and maybe even positive ones. Thank you indeed for watching. But until next time, as always, Vejska, El Barça.